Welcome, everybody, to Changing of the Hip Hop Guards podcast. I'm one half of your host, the journalist Sincere.
What's up, everyone? I'm Uncle Lee.
And we have a new segment where we're taking a look back at some of the most monumental classic albums, reviews from the Source magazine, what everybody considers the hip hop Bible. We'll be taking a look at each section and agreeing, disagreeing, taking a look back to see what was said 30 years ago, actually this month.
Damn, 30 years, bro, already? That's crazy.
30 years.
That's nuts, man. Yo, I must say this. This is going to be a bittersweet episode for me, man, because, dude, I had like when I tell you literally every collection when it comes to the Source, and I got rid of them. If I would have known, bro, that there was going to be like Instagram and shit like that. Not even that. Right. Just besides that, just to even have them, man, it hurts. But this is going to be fun, man. Let's get into it. So what we have, what's the first one we're doing today?
We have June 1992, and on this issue, I believe it may have been their first time putting an R&B act on the cover. We have TLC on this issue.
Look at that, man.
And nice like I said, all nice and glossy. On the cover it says Tim Dog versus NWA settling the score. If you remember, they had beef back in this time. KRS won an X-Clan, a hip-hop peace summit. We also have Beastie Boys, Crisscross, Ultramatic MCs. And like I said, we have new music at the time from Gangstar, Soul to Soul, and Roxanne Shante. Let's get into it.
Wow, man. Classic, man. I forgot all about that peace. I guess it was kind of like a peace treaty between X-Clan and BDP.
Right.
I forgot all about that, man. Africa Bambaataa, I believe, was involved with helping that, making that happen.
No doubt.
But let's get into it, man. So what's up first?
First up, we have the Source chart. This is where the hottest albums were ranked 1 through 15, as well as the singles at the time. Let's take a look back at what was in heavy rotation June 1992.
Yo, this shit is crazy, bro.
Man, I'm looking.
The Tribe Called Quest at number 12, man, and they got Crisscross at number 4. Yo, who's doing these shits, man?
Make you scratch your head, man. That's how the Source was back in the day. We had AMG at 15. We had a brand new guy named Spice One at number 8. Any recollection of Spice One where you were at?
I mean, of course, I remember who Spice One is and everything, but and for me personally, wasn't on my playlist like that. Right. That's the man, though. You know what I mean? Of course. Right. But I'm looking over here at like I said, Chaco, Cypress Hill. Man, even what's interesting though? Das Effects over Pete Rock and CL Smooth. That's a close one.
I think what it is at the time, this Pete Rock and CL Smooth just came out, so it was working its way up. Das Effects had been out for a minute, so I think some of them were like last minute inclusions. Didn't have enough time to have burn. So a lot of them on here, like the Crisscross at number 4, way over A Tribe Called Quest, Low End Theory. It's enough to make you scratch your head, but that's what the Source was back in the day. You always question who was doing what. It gave you a good argument to go back to school. And let's jump into some of the singles.
I was gonna say, what's some of those singles down there? I see Papa Large, bro. That's crazy. Number 12.
Our guy, Power Rule, number 15 with Pass the Vibes.
Yep. Nice, man. What else we got on there?
Big Mama by Shantae, number 11. Remember how Fushnikins came in the game? They had La Schmoove. They were in at number 10.
Yo, I forgot Big Mama was around that time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember the album too much, but I do
Big
definitely.
Mama.
Yeah.
Wow.
Take It Personal was always my joint. That was number 6. They Want Effects comes in at number 4. Can't Forget the Scenario. Remember when that joint dropped? The video. This is really what gave Busta his birth as a solo artist going into the future. It was definitely all about Scenario. I remember back when they reminisce when Pete Rock and CL Smooth debuted on MTV, and man, that song changed my life.
I was going crazy for that Rakim joint though, man. Don't sweat the technique.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Crazy, crazy.
He got a lot of flack for that video. I don't know if you remember. He had a few
Yeah,
light-skinned ladies in the video with a lot of people caught it flack. But hey, it was all about
that was my
Rakim.
Anything Rakim did to me for me was like he got an automatic pass.
No doubt. And that was the Source chart as well as the singles, 1992. This section, we've got the hip hop quotable. Man, this was one of those sections that gave us rap fans, we had to check to see who was most
who
lyrical.
got the quotable. Yeah. The funny thing is that sometimes, I don't know if you remember, but sometimes the hip hop quotable would be someone not necessarily that was super known either.
Oh,
you know what I mean? It could have been someone that was featured on somebody that was known. That was a big deal though to get that quotable. That was a big deal.
Bragging rights, definitely for
just for example, like Biggie Smalls. You know what I mean? If you remember, like when he got it, but we'll be hitting that at another time. But
absolutely.
Yeah, man. So Das EFX. What song was this again?
This was East Coast from the Dead Serious debut LP. Some of the lyrics: I whips it, I smacks it, I flips it. When shit's thick or shit hits the fan, man. They brought that.
Man, yeah. Was that really a hip hop quote?
yeah, definitely.
But no, I mean, I know it was a hip hop quotable in there, but what I'm asking is like, was that really like that ill of a
right. I'm sure, man, they were all battling in that office, and they had to come to some type of agreement. And looks like Scoob.
I will say this: when you hear it, when it's being said by him, I mean, that just sounds fly as hell, as opposed to reading it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm sure I made it sound uninteresting, but that's what it was back in the day. Scoob, big shout out to Das EFX 30 years ago today on the hip hop quotable.
I'm a huge Das EFX to this day, man. I still love Das EFX.
Absolutely.
Still love Das EFX. Yo, another thing that's interesting is How Not to Get Jerked. I mean, that's me. They took right out of a KRS, right?
Oh yeah.
Remember he had that? You know what I mean? How to not get jerked.
And I even think during this time, the industry rule number 4080, Low End Theory, artists were definitely warning other artists about the industry early on.
Right. Yeah, man. So next segment, the Fat Tape. That was a pretty interesting segment, man. Those were like some joints that either it was hard to get your hands on, or certain singles that might have came out that weren't out physically yet and stuff like that. This issue has some pretty dope ones though. Deep Cover, Dr. Dre featuring Snoop Dogg.
Yes, sir.
That to this day is a classic. Shout out to Fat Joe and Big Pun for doing that over. Faking the Funk, yo, this is an ill one. Faking the Funk main source, right?
Right.
What else you had here?
You can't see what I can see.
You can't see what I can see. Heavy D, EPMD. Wow, it's going down.
Big man, dude. Chubb Rock.
That's just all on
side A, right there.
Side A right there. Side B, you had Pete Rock and CL Smooth.
For Pete's sake.
Yeah, for Pete's sake.
Oh,
and,
man, do you remember when that came out?
The Wick?
Yeah.
Crazy. Now that was the funny thing about the Wick was at first when I first heard it, I didn't really understand what Guru was doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? With the style. You know what I mean? I didn't really understand it, but that shit worked. The video was ill with Kid Capri. That shit. Shout out to them, man. Showbiz and AG.
Party
That's
Groove.
a dope one. Yep. Das EFX, Mike Checker. What's that last one, BDP?
The Original Way. Crazy. And this is only like a 10-song type of EP, and I could play this back to back all day, every day. And that's how it was. Yeah.
Damn, yeah, that BDP, that was my shit, man. Wow. Damn, man, this is really taking. Hell yeah. Doesn't seem like it was that far, man, that far back, but damn.
Yeah, 30 years ago, baby. The next section we have here is the Unsigned Hype. You definitely had bragging rights if you made this section. So many artists throughout the years that have passed through this particular part of the magazine went on to do bigger and better things. From this issue, June 1992, we have the Legion of Doom. And I have to admit, I do not remember these cats at the time.
No, I remember the name, But man, don't take points off of my hip hop card, but I can't remember like everything about them offhand like that.
Right. So if you're in the comments, be sure to hit us on who these guys were, who they ended up becoming, because at the time and still to this day, I'm kind of up in the air. I need a little reminding on who the Legion of Doom were and who they eventually became.
Yeah, listen, man, we're talking what, 30-something years, bro? More or less.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So to the viewers out there, man, don't lynch us, man, but help us out. You know what I mean? Help us out in the comments. You know what I mean? It's hard to remember every single thing, but that's why salute to Sincere for having these classic magazines, man, that we could go back and take a look at. Yeah, but I'm checking out Chomping on Chumpies? What is that? A new hip hop potato chip. Yo, they was, man, we thought on No Limit in them guys.
Nah. We had 92 back. Yeah. Chomping on Chumpies.
Straight out of hip hop potato chips, rocks Philly and beyond.
No doubt.
That's ill. All right. But yeah, man, once again, man, let us know what's up in the comments, man. Legion of Doom. All right, man. Here we go. To me, this is my favorite. I would say hands down my favorite part of the Source magazine, other than the covers. I always, was interested in the covers to see who they had on the covers. But I used to I would go from the cover, I would jump to this section here, which is the ratings, right? The mics, the 5-star, 4-star mics. Check that out, and then I would start to dissect the magazine.
Right.
But it was always cover, ratings, and then depending on who's on the cover, I would go and look for that article.
Right.
And then everything else. But here we are, man. So Source, June of 92.
Let's take a look back 30 years later.
They start off with Gangstar, man, a daily operation, 3.5 mics. Now, the crazy thing is that right under that is Spice One with 4 mics.
Right.
Now, I know this could be a regional thing as well, right?
Right.
But I don't know about 3.5 mics for Gangstar daily operation.
Absolutely not. I mean, I think out the gate for me personally, there was no fast forwarding. Every song was a classic. There's no reason why it shouldn't have received a 4.5. I mean,
at least,
I mean,
at least
quality from beginning to end. Track says, "Take it personal." Next girl, X girl to the next girl. I'm sorry. Siliquia Chaos. You name it, it was on there. You can still play that back to back to this day.
Now, you know what's kind of interesting, because it's a little hard, right? Because we're talking about so far back. It's a little hard to go back and really remember like the climate of everything when it was coming out. Like, of course, we look at it now and we're just like, wait, it might have made sense at the time. You know what I mean? Like, the Spice Ones come out first. I mean, I can't remember offhand. Was he making more of a buzz at the time compared to that?
Right.
But looking back on it, 4.5 at least.
At least
4.5. All right, let's see let's flip the page. Flip the page. What you got there?
Oh man, we got Penthouse Players Clique. They were down with DJ Quick. I believe Eazy-E had a hand in that a little bit. They ended up getting 3.5, the same as Gangstar. I mean, how do you even justify putting that up against a daily operation?
Mellow Man Ace, 3.5.
Yeah, they was slick with the 3.5s back then.
Yeah. What you got there, Big Mellow?
Bonehard Zagging, 2.5. Not very good. Almost disrespectful. If you got anything less than 3, even 3 was kind of knocking on the door of.
It was almost like, why put it up there, man? Yo, the Source was ahead of their time, because now when I think about it, these mic ratings were kind of like how people get butthurt over the likes now on Instagram.
Oh,
yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I see why a lot of them
serious.
Ended up going to the office with baseball bats.
Yeah. Yo, that mic was something serious
It
though, man.
was. I
Let's
think,
see.
it could have possibly make or break your career, man.
Make or break. Yep. Hell yeah. Let's see. Let's flip the page. What you got here? Showbiz and AG, man. Now, okay, so
I think it was
go,
kind of judged. It was an EP, so maybe they only based it off of, EP only had 5, 6, 7 songs, so maybe
right.
it wasn't. They were basing it off of EP ratings, not as a
Okay.
whole. So, I mean,
Okay.
they didn't really have a lot of area to mess around and have a lot of duds. So
Right.
everything they had on there was quality. So, if they're rating EPs and they're passing up mics, I'd give it a 4 myself as well. It was consistent. I don't remember anything whack being on that joint. So, but I think it was kind of odd to rank an album and an EP
And
in the
an
same.
EP at the same category, like in the
Yeah.
same. Yeah. All right, and then they have Tongue Twister as you went
Yeah.
by it back then. Tongue Twister, right?
Exactly. And
3 mics.
yeah, he eventually, I think, after this, developed his own style, and what worked for him totally changed the style, dropped the tongue, and just became Twister. And like I said, he made his debut. For you new fans who thought he's just came around in the 2000s, he's been around for 30 years.
Been around for a long time, man. Yeah. Man, so yeah, those mics was no joke, man. I remember the crazy thing. Tell me if you remember this too. So like when one of your favorite artists would come out with an album, and it's like you were dying to wait for that issue to come out to see if they would get like that 5 mics or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then you would see it. Sometimes they would give them like a 3.5 or whatever. Like what? Like how the hell,
Oh yeah, it was crucial.
Tough.
It was good argumentative material for you and whoever you were around at the time to debate. I mean, it was serious back then. And these were the hot singles, sure shots of the summer of 1992. We had The Bronx Nigga by Tim Dog. Yeah, remember when he burst on the scene?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of was, I was like, yeah.
He had Compton ready to fight for sure. Shantae had The Big Mama, House of Pain. Remember when they hit the scene, Jump Around, Undeniable, Everlast reinvented itself.
Yep.
And the backside of that was House of Pain.
Coming off of what was it, the Syndicate and all of that?
Yes, Rhyme Syndicate with Ice-T.
Rhyme Syndicate with Ice-T.
Exactly.
What you got there? Miles Davis, huh?
Yeah, we can't forget how that jazz and hip hop meshed with Easy Mo B, Miles Davis, the bebop song. I think I'm gonna play that joint once we wrap this up.
I forgot all about that.
No doubt. Summer of '92 was hot.
Hell yeah, damn, that's crazy. But shout out to Miles Davis, man. Rest in peace, Miles.
Absolutely.
All right, man. So and here we are, kind of towards the end of the magazine, right? The last word. That was always also kind of cool. Sometimes they would have certain little things that they would, just kind of hit you with at the end. Here at the Beastie Boys, right?
Yep.
So tell what just so that people know a little bit about what that says. I know it says please check your head.
Yeah, right? If you remember at the time, the Beastie Boys just dropped their album Check Your Head. The creative and masterful Andre Leroy Davis created this piece with all the guys checking their heads in. Right. So that's the concept behind checking your head.
$1 a head. $1 a head. Yeah,
yes, sir.
Man. That was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it took us way back, man. I think I'm going to pull out a few cassette tapes and refresh my memory after we wrap this up.
So, yeah, overall, man, the Source magazine to me was like, the Bible, right? The hip hop Bible. It was definitely, you would anticipate the next issues coming out. I wanted to see who, like I said earlier, who was on the cover. Hoping that your favorite artist would make that cover. Man, and of course there were those that like just were destroying, like Jay-Z, Nas, 50 Cent, like they just used to rule the covers, right?
Right.
But shout out to Dave Mays and the entire crew, right? Matty C and everybody that used to, work at the Source, man. Shout out to them for providing us with some good literature.
Something to look forward to every month.
Hell yeah. Man, so what we got coming up next, Sincere?
Next, we have coming up the June 1997 issue that's going to celebrate the 25th anniversary. Be on the
Dope.
lookout for that, and be on the lookout for more creative new content each and every week at Changing of the Hip Hop Guards podcast.
Hell yeah, another great episode, man.
Yes,
Everybody,
sir.
thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Also, if you're interested in some of our t-shirts, Changing of the Hip Hop Guards, man, you can hit us up either directly on Instagram. We'll make that happen and get you one. And thank you for your support.
Absolutely. I am the journalist Sincere.
I'm Uncle Lee.
And we'll see you again in a few weeks with the 25th anniversary.
Peace.